Hello once again, and we're going to talk about majority of everyone's favourite subject, cars. Let's talk about cars. Well, not exactly. Well, yes, but I'm going to whittle it down to one brand. You know, because it's back in the day when I was a kid or when I was growing up, a lot of people used to drive around in Fords. So I'm going to keep it as a Ford subject. Ford cars or whatever. For anything Ford. The brand Ford. Yeah. What was your favourite Ford? It can be past or present. Yeah, past or present. Yeah, I had to think what I said there, but it was right anyway. But yeah, what was your favourite Ford car? Not the Ford car, the Ford product, any car made by Ford. You know, this could go a little bit internationally here because Ford of Europe were different to Ford of America, because obviously back in the day, American had massive cars. Where Fords, you know, they were reasonable sized, which was especially for this country, because we have small roads, so you don't want a big, massive car, especially in big American cars with the 70s and the 80s, maybe the 50s and 60s, but I can't remember this so much. So we're going to stick to, well, it can be any, as I say, it can be any year, any decade or whatever. Yeah, but if I was going to say an American Ford, obviously it's going to be the Mustang. But what was the one? I think it was the one in, if you remember, Diamonds Are Forever, and the original Gone in 60 Seconds, not the new one with Nicolas Cage, or the 15-year-old one, whatever it was. Not that one. That one wasn't all that good. But the original one was made in the 70s. That, I think it's the Mustang Mach 1, is it? The Mach 1, or is it the Boss? I can't remember the name, but it was a beautiful car. That was probably my favourite Mustang. Yes, the original Mustang was nice. I honestly liked the rebooted version, the remade, the update version of the Mustang. It's pretty nice. But what I'm also going to try and get at, cars maybe back in the 70s, the 80s, when I was growing up kid, I think cars had a lot more style about them back then. Cars of today, well, probably cars in the last 20-25 years, I look boring. They all look the same. You know, I think it's due to all the safety equipment that you got to have on cars these days, so it makes them a little bit more heavier, makes them bulkier. As I say, I'm going to stick to the subject of Ford, because I could go on all day about cars. Yeah, it's to say the styling of cars looked better back in the day. They looked much, you know, they had a character to them, you know. I would say my favourite Ford of Europe, or, yeah, because it was all over Europe, I would say the Capri. The Ford Capri. Now that was a great car. Never owned one. I've been in one. I've never driven one, so I missed out on something good there. I'd say that was one of my, I think, favourite car was the Capri. And if I could buy a Capri, I would. Either the 2.8 injection or the 3 litre sports. You know, you car something for that good. You want the power with it. You don't want no fucking 1300 or a 1600. I had a 1600 Sierra, and that was a shit heap. Fucking moved so slowly. And you know, the style of the Sierra, alright, it was alright, but it wasn't nothing great. I mean, the Cortina that the Sierra replaced, you know, that was, I think they had 5 marks of that car. But Dad had a Cortina. Yeah, a good car that were. Say probably my favourite Cortina was the Mark III, because that just looks stylish. Grandad had the Mark 1. One with the round lights at the back. I was really young then. Ford Escorts. Ford Escorts. The Mark 1, the Mark 2 were the best. Mark 3. I never liked the Mark 3 onwards. Just looked a bit boxy and boring. And I'm going to get back to the Capri because unfortunately the reason why the Capri died out was probably, I think it was because people want the hot hatches, and they were the next thing coming. Like a normal car like the Fiesta, they made a sort of like a hot hatch version, like it was the XR2, that was the Fiesta version, and the XR3i was the Escort version, the XR4i was the Sierra version. That's what killed off the Capri, unfortunately. The Capri was a great car. How can people want them fucking things? I didn't. Alright, the XR2 was alright, the XR3, I wouldn't fucking own one of those because everyone back in the day owned one. You know, fucking idiots that drive them cars every time. I fucking had bad experience with fucking XR3i drivers driving so far up your fucking arse. I don't know. Don't like them. I didn't really want that one of them cars. Don't really like them. Yeah, okay, the XR4 pretty rare. There was a Sierra version and the Sierra Cosworth. Yeah, that was a nice car, the Sierra Cosworth. But did it look as good as the Capri? I don't think it did. It was just, those cars were just based on the saloon version, like a basic car. That was just based on the car. But the Capri had its own style about it. And I thought that was a great car. It's a shame, I still see Capris now and then. You know, when you see a Capri, it really turns your head. You look at it and think, wow, I ain't seen one of them for a long time. When you see it go by, you think, wow, that looks quite good. You see all these modern cars drive by, do you give them a look? No, not really. You always see you see a classic car, you see a Mini drive past, you always look, a classic Mini, okay, I'm not talking about Ford now, but you see a Mini drive past, you always, oh fucking hell, you always look at it. You always seem to draws your attention to it. You look at another car, BMW, go behind it. What's the point? You ain't got to look at it. It's nothing, it ain't got character like the old cars have. Yeah, so I'd say my favourite Ford was a Capri, and maybe the American Ford would be the Mark, obviously the Mac 1 or the Boss, whatever it is, the Mustang. Yeah, and I just think cars of today just look boring. Unless it was a supercar, of course, then that'll turn your head, wouldn't it? If you see a supercar or a hypercar, something out your price range, basically, that you can only dream of. Yeah, it's a pity, we don't see good, good cars anymore. Okay, good cars are good, of course they are. I mean, they last forever these days, but you don't see a lot of style in cars these days. It's all look the same, basically. Even the little fucking cars, they look shit. The Ford Focus, well, that's alright. I like the Focus, but once again, is it a car that it's got style? I don't think it has. It ain't going to come close to the original Escort, is it? I mean, you look at original Escort, the Mark 1 or the Mark 2, especially when they're sporty versions of them. They look quite good. They look pretty decent, especially the RS2000, the Mark 2. They were really good cars. They were really nice cars. So, what's your favourite Ford? It's Ford only, though. Ford has to be a Ford. They're great cars, weren't they? They've styled some good cars. I think the reason why I'm saying Ford, because majority of my family have Fords. Yeah, I don't know why it's always been Ford or Vauxhall. Well, we're not going to talk about Vauxhall at the moment. I might do that on another conversation. But what is your favourite Ford? It can be any time, any period. It can be old, from the Model T to the new, whatever it is, the same old fucking like Mondeos or whatever they got now, car, Fiesta, a Ford Probe. That was a shit car, wasn't it? That was such a shit car. I remember the Ford Probe came out. This was the replacement for the Capri. We'll take one look at the fucking thing and you think, how the fuck can that piece of shit replace the Capri? Yeah, right. No, the Capri was, it looked good, it was stylish, it was fast, it was fun. It looked like a proper car to me. In the Probe. Nah, fuck off, that was just shit. Escort Cosworth. I didn't really like that much. It was just like it was just too crap. I didn't like it. I'd rather have the Sierra Cosworth. Okay, it was, Sierra was, as I say, it was based on a car, and I can go back and say yes, the Mark 1, Mark 2 Escort were normal cars, but they just look good. Even like especially the Mark 1, that looked good. As a standard car, that just had everything about it. Then they made the Mexico version, and that looked fantastic. And it was rear-wheel drive. There was another good thing about it. From the Mark 3, they have a fucking front-wheel drive, and I don't like fucking front-wheel drive. Much prefer rear-wheel drive because you had more fun. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to stop here now. So what's your favourite Ford? Yep, so thank you so much for watching. Till next time, and goodbye.